Okay, here we go. Here's the rough draft. This is about 4.5 pages of front. Just got done writing it a little while. This is cold. No idea how long it's going to be, so I'm just going to kind of read it for the first time and see what 4.5 fronts of pages gets me time-wise. It's going to be either called Middle of the Mountain or Halfway Up the Mountain. Anybody cares to venture an opinion? As usual, I'm all ears, but my ears are empty. Oh, hold on. Okay, back. Had a little bit of a coughing fit. Here we go. John woke up. Yes, that much he is sure of, but where? He has no idea, and it will be quite some time before he does. And he may never be absolutely sure. He's on the side of a hill. Yes, maybe a mountain, but it's still quite early, and the mist has only begun to clear. Wake up. Clear the cobwebs. Get a grip. What happened? What is happening? He looks up the slope and down. He can see a little further up than down. Maybe he's higher up than he might have imagined. The mist and fog has begun to clear above, but is still quite thick below. Even though it's less visible, he's going to go down, right? That makes more sense when your senses are stuck. He is finally fully awake, but memories are scarce, especially recent ones. He remembers Mom and Dad and Sis, but draws a blank on last week, much less last night. One last look up. He can only see about 50 yards, then the angles hide everything beyond. Now, after the time he took to shake the cobwebs from his eyes and brain, the view down the slope exceeds the view above. And the slopes appear more mild and traversable than the only other option. That's a little bit confusing, or I stuttered reading it, I don't know. Yes, down it is, surely the wise choice. As he tries to scope his path down, it's dawning on him that he may actually be on an honest-to-God mountain. How did this happen? And more than that, how did it happen without leaving a trace of a memory? Maybe he hit his head on a hike. Legit theory, but no pain. Actually, since coming fully awake, he's noticed that he feels quite good, better than he has in quite a while. Almost hopeful, though by any definition, he is lost. That's okay, though. He's been lost plenty of times before, not so much geographically, but emotionally and mentally. And he's learned the only way out is to put one foot in front of the other. It's not usually as bad as it appears, and compared to being lost in one's mind, the geographical component is a distant second concern. All right, he has a clear sight of nearly 200 yards down the slope. The computer between his ears shows him the safest, most efficient route down. Time to take a step. Wait, what? Have I been here before? And before he even had the chance to choose between a memory and deja vu, the feeling was gone. And feelings aren't necessarily memories. Okay, file it away. Let's go. As he walked, his thoughts compelled him to figure all this out, like now. But he had next to nothing to work with. His brain was the radar with no pings returning. Only half a feeling even less firm than it was a few minutes earlier. Have I been here before? Nothing sure enough to get a grip on, but this time whatever was in his mind stayed. Good, I can work on this, he said out loud to no one but himself. He had just recently begun to talk to himself. It was still new, and he wondered if it was a good thing. Like everything else, time will tell. And he thought there was a good chance it was a positive, and he decided to go with it for now. Either way, give his mind only a morsel, and if that morsel contains anything, useful or otherwise, it shall be extracted. Okay, after 100 yards or so, he still didn't have enough of a line of sight to know exactly what he was on. Only slightly more had come into view as he walked. He was paying close attention to what was ahead, as usual, always looking ahead. He barely noticed a large bird taking flight from a tree off to his right. Something, had he been paying closer attention, he would have observed intently. He very much enjoyed large birds, hawks, the rarer eagle. He even saw beauty in crows. Could never understand why people dislike them so much. True, they are annoying if you ever sleep out somewhere and want to sleep past daybreak, but he thoroughly enjoyed them. And if he remembered right, they're one of the smartest animals on earth. But always looking ahead, he came to the end of his first 200 yards, and he saw why his view hadn't increased much. It wasn't a cliff, but the only visible navigable slope increased. He didn't mind. He learned over his life to appreciate not having to agonize over a decision. He took it as God making the decision, and if God made it, then it was made. And no mistake, John did agonize over decisions. Everything had to be efficient, perfect, though he recently learned he's never made a perfect decision in his life, but was still breaking the habit of trying. And when all this entered his conscious mind, he was glad the decision was made for him. Only now he had to use the computer for safety. That's what I got so far. 5, almost 6 minutes with some pausing and stuttering. Okay, what do you think? Comments are obviously welcome. We'll take constructive criticism, of course, but I can certainly handle it. Things get nasty, though. There's no need for that. That's it. See ya.